Hi, Mark. So I just wanted to make a super kind of quick video because it's just been really, whew. So I finished the second video and the vows and the meditation, um, and I just this whole thing just since however kind of meeting you across Facebook, and then digging into some of your material, and there's still more that I plan on watching, and I still got the third video, um, but it's very serendipitous. That's why for me it's like, it's a lot. I'll explain a few things. That the synchronicities. Here's what I really wanted to say was, again, the synchronicities are so much. Here's my little rainbow necklace I made years ago. I kind of came back into like wearing it again more recently, like randomly. I came across it and I was like, oh. And of course, the dragon stuff. There's reasons for that. That's interesting. And the peacock stuff. You mentioned some of these things, and it's like, I remember my interaction with that peacock at the time. That was it was really interesting. There's a lot of synchronicities, and I actually feel like this is very, very perfect. Any kind of trepidation of anything I have is I've thought that a lot of times. I'm like, oh, this is a thing. This is a thing. Like this is a thing. Like this is a person, or this is the thing. For me, this is every. And then it's like the cart before the horse, and it kind of you just think it's all, and then and not in a bad way. My heart is very open to receive and love, and even with all the times of being just beaten down in the silliest ways. I live a very strange life, and I've led a very strange life, and I try not to be too weird about it. I can get weird about it. At the same time, it's like it's just my life and my stories, and so I'm not really, that is what that is. But I'll just wanted to say, 2.5 minutes. I'm just shooting for like 5 minutes. Humbly, is I had besides like stuff with like my father. Like I said, I had just like a minor glancing lightning strike on the air, or the golf course, where it, like knocked him out of his shoes, and I always found that very strange. And we're Norwegian English. I know my lineage comes through. My grandpa on that side was a Delano, and that goes back to like Margaret Tudor, and which is just weird in some ways. Not like it all goes back certain ways, but it's So with my Norwegian English though, and as I've learned stuff like the Tuatha De Danann, and some of how those stories go back. That's like the story of Lug, and it's very interesting. I could go into some other stuff with charts and things where it gets also curious, but there's a psychic from Idaho that actually I'd gone to years ago. Like my sisters went, my mom, my dad. My dad would never have gone himself. It's just my sisters had got him a thing, and I've heard a lot of the readings on tape, and they're like, his name is David Atkins. He passed just very recently. Amazing man. Just very, very good man. And anyways, so I had my reading, and it was, it's just interesting because one of the first things he says, like, oh, have you had contacts with UFOs yet? And I got some stories on that, and that was very fresh at that time of my life, which when you have intense UFO interactions, it's life changing. And then some of the stuff we talked on different things, and near the end there's a few things he said where like, do you have any questions, this and that, and I kind of asked about like past lives and stuff like this, and he'd said, you were a follower of Christ within 100 years of his life. You used to be connected with Knights Templar. He's like, oh, one time you were a boy in a village, you were in the same village as Leonardo da Vinci. Like you didn't necessarily know him, but you'd see him and go, that's Leonardo da Vinci. And he told me it'd been many indigenous people in my past lives many times. That's why the Sedona thing that's a whole nother thing. That's why I got here and why I'm here in the first place. But and then he told me the amount of lives that I've lived, very specific number, and it was not a small one. So it's when I was listening to some of your videos, pardon me, I need a drink. when I was listening to some of your videos, at just when you're talking, mentioning these things like, it's like, it just has me reeling a bit. So I'm very excited. I'm going to dig into the third video. I'm going to email this. I think it's really neat, and I could talk more, but I just wanted to share that little bit because I don't want to take a lot. I know you're a busy man. Thank you. I'm excited.